Hi everybody, my name is Krug.
My name is Indigo.
Today we're here to talk to you about Mutant Year Zero, an XCOM-esque RPG, turn-based RPG. What do you want to call it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if it's like unique or just muddy.
Yeah. We're here to talk about XCOM's mutant deformed brother.
It's so weird how closely related they want to be, because like they flat out on both Steam and their page say like, this is very XCOM-like. You know what I mean?
Probably like search term stuff, which is reasonable because it is very XCOM-like.
All right, so Mutant Year Zero is published by Funcom, a company that we're very familiar with and we've talked to and worked with in the past. But then it's being developed by the Bearded Lady Consultants.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
The Bearded Lady Consultants is kind of like enigmatic in a way. It doesn't really have a close tie to the game as far as like
or like most
social
gaming.
media or like its own website. Well, okay, so if you go to their website, just the root of their domain, it just redirects you to
Mutant Year Zero.
Yeah, the game's site. But you can also like put /project and it'll show you their previous games, or like /about or whatever. It'll show you the rest of their stuff. Their site is like hot garbage. Like not the redirect, but their actual site is the worst thing I've ever seen.
So's their logo.
There's logos. I mean, I kind of like their logo, to be honest with you. And also another weird thing is their social media accounts, specifically their Twitter, haven't been active since 2010.
Yeah.
8 years ago. And the bio of their Twitter account looks like it's still from like 8 years ago.
And it's like, we developed a helicopter game for the PlayStation 3. And
why not talk about the new game you're developing? What's going on?
Well, and here's the thing, though, is that the people that are in the team, like, it seems that this is just kind of like a shell company, like that, like, it exists, it's there, and then sometimes they make games, but it never,
for billing purposes.
Yeah,
right?
like it's a group of developers that own that name, so if they decide to go back to it and create a game, they can. But, like, so some of the people on the team helped make Payday and Hitman, which are two very good and very popular games, but, like, they're not a part of the Bearded Ladies, whose games consist of Pipe Madness.
Yep.
Which is like one of those really popular, like, turn these pipes in a specific way to get the water to go from one direction to another.
It literally, in the projects page of their website, says that they like contacted the original developer of that specific like flavor of that game and asked his permission to port it to whatever the console they moved it to. Like, it wasn't really their thing originally. Yeah. Like, they had to seek permission to make it in the first place. And also, it's kind of weird on the website for the game. If you scroll to the very bottom, there's two logos, one for Funcom and one for the Bearded Lady. But if you click on the Bearded Lady one, it just sends you to Funcom's page.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even go to their About page or anything. It's just like, yeah, this is a meaningless company that doesn't want anything to do with fame or popularity or anything.
Yeah, and just, it's such a confusing concept, and it's so different, like, for the gaming world.
Because they're probably actually legitimate consultants. Like, they don't have the, like, authority, I guess. Maybe that's the wrong word, but to take credit for the things because they're making them on behalf of Funcom. So, like, Funcom wants all the credit, you know? And they just want their consulting money and then they're going to move on with their lives. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is. Like, I guess we can reach out to the social media managers and just be like, yo, like, so...
Of the Bearded Lady? Because I don't think
they have. I'm talking about Funcom. You're like, explain your relationship between you and the Bearded Lady.
They'll be like, I'm sorry, is this a joke? What do you mean? They're probably not even going to know what that is.
Now, to go into the actual game itself, it is, like we said, an XCOM, like, turn-based game. But before you get into the turn-based thing, it's actually a stealth game where you have to move around, like, slowly and find good ways to enter and find, like ways to be smart about the combat that you're going into. And then once you are, like, in the actual combat, that's when it kind of switches to this XCOM style game.
Yeah.
Now, to get, like, what this game's about and, like, what the genre is about, they actually have this really good quote that I'm gonna read to you. It was just a question of time. Extreme climate change, global economic crisis, a lethal pandemic, and increasing tension between old and new superpowers. For the first time since 1945, nuclear weapons were used in an arms conflict. Mushroom clouds rose from east to west before the dust settled. Okay, so that kind of gives us like what the world was like before and why we're in this like weird kind of like post-apocalyptic doom, everything's death world. The other really interesting part about the game is that this explosion of nuclear weapons has now created new races of human beings, or new races of bipedal creatures, we should say.
Yeah, seemingly sentient animals is what I think they could be best described as. There's a pig, or maybe it's a boar, I don't know, some kind of pork standing on two legs. And then there's a duck who is weirdly chewing on his own feather for the first part of the trailer. I don't know. It'd be like me pulling out a clump of my hair and just kind of like putting it in my mouth. Like
I don't know.
That'd be a little weird.
I think it's like supposed to like represent someone that would chew on straw. Like,
yeah, but your own. Okay.
I don't know.
And then there's a human, or what seems to be a human. Indigo actually noticed, and I super missed it the first time I watched this trailer, that they have a horn on their head that looks like it's stitched in. So we don't know if that's like the stitching has nothing to do with the horn and it's just like an injury next to it, or if they've like augmented themselves in some way. I think that's really interesting. I think there's a lot of different ways that can go. But there's probably still like normal humans. Actually, there are definitely still normal humans because we saw some in the gameplay footage.
Yeah, we saw like human-esque. Like we don't know if they're like robots or if they're like just human-shaped and they're wearing masks. I don't know. We don't know if they're like zombie-esques. Like I don't know. I don't know. We've gotten to see a 30-minute clip from Eurogamer, who got an exclusive with Funcom, where they sit there and played through a little bit of the game and explain some of the mechanics. So once you get into this XCOM style gameplay, there are stealth weapons, like weapons that have silencers, so you can take off and pick off enemies without notifying enemies. There's also like radiuses of like where enemies can see and not see. Then they get into kind of like mutations, which they don't explain a lot into, but like, for example, the duck character, which I believe his name is Dux, that's D-U-X. He has a ability where he's got moth wings that grow out of the back of him, and he flies up in the air, which gives him a better angle and higher crit chance. So you're able.
It's like the high ground advantage, basically.
Yeah, and so you're able to like have an increased crit, which means you can do way more damage, take enemies out in like 1 or 2 hits versus like a ton of hits. And then there's like stone skin.
Yeah, we saw the boar use stone skin during the gameplay, basically.
And in the trailer, we saw the human use stone skin.
Yeah, but like that's a CG trailer. But I think that what that kind of tells us is that the mutations are going to be sort of cross
character,
cross class, cross race is what I was trying to think of. Like it's not going to be one race that has a specific set of mutations. It feels like it's going to maybe be a little more freeform. Maybe mutations are something that you buy into as opposed to like level into.
Well, and
but we don't really know the like progression mechanics.
We don't know the progression mechanics, but we do know that there's going to be other mutants that you're going to be able to have on your team. So it's
not just going to be those 3 races.
Exactly, and I think what it's more like, at least from what gameplay I've seen, it seems that it's kind of class-based. Like the duck character, at least that we've seen, is kind of a stealth, high crit, sneak around character, while the boar is more of like, I use shotguns, I do big hits, I make a lot of noise.
Right.
Like, and I think that's kind of like how the game uses that system. So it's like maybe as a loud character, you can get stone skin, but you can't as a stealth character.
Yeah, that could be an option, but we're not sure. I'm excited.
This is all guessing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. It looks really fun. I played XCOM a bunch, but I kind of got bored with it, mostly because of the style of the game. I wasn't super into.
Like aliens, or
just the way it looked. It was just kind of like sad, I guess. I don't know. It didn't click with me. This game, I think, is a lot more interesting. Has a lot more options to be visually interesting because of the way that the story is, just kind of the way the world is, makes it have a lot more potential for visual interest. And I know you're not super into the art style.
Yeah, it's not the style, it's the individual characters look a little weird to me. Like,
yeah,
they look short and stubby.
Yeah.
Like, the human looks weird. Like, I don't know.
I personally like it a bunch. But
that's because you like all short and stubby characters.
That's true.
Literally every game you play, you're like, I have to make the shortest, fattest character that I can think of.
The shortest, fattest, brownest, Afro-iest character I can think of. Yep.
And so it's like, I think that's just like fits. You're like, oh, they're already at that status.
Yeah, I don't need to do any work. It's just done for me. All in all, we're super excited about the game. Why don't you let us know, are you super excited about the game? Type that out in the comments below. Also, while you're writing, let us know what kind of animal would you like to see as a bipedal sentient soldier with mutations that allow it to kill a bunch of stuff. I said mutations, that's not
Platypus.
a real, oh, that's a good one. What about a snake? Loch Ness Monster? What? Yep.
I mean,
dinosaur.
One of those two things is real.
Dinosaurs are real. While you're writing all that stuff, hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out. It helps us grow and reach a wider audience. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notified whenever we post new content, because apparently YouTube only notifies like 1.1% of people whenever we post a video, even if they're subscribed to our channel, which seems sort of counterintuitive, but they have some bullshit statistics to back up that choice that I hate. I hate everything about YouTube, please.
My name's Indigo. You can get me up on Twitter at IndigoQ2.
I'm Krug. You can get me at QueueQT on Twitter. You can also reach both of us at _QueueTimes on Twitter. We've been GameGorgon. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.